live. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hold on, let me get a little bit of cold brew. It's a little early,
Yeah, we're
especially
making it over here.
without like already being able to watch some football. I woke up specifically being like, yeah, Liverpool, Merseyside Derby. Oh, it's gonna be ugly.
Hate
And then,
watch. Good 0-0 draw would have
oh, would have gassed me
killed
up.
the spirit. Yeah.
Especially right before City play, and then right before United play.
Mm.
Oh,
But no,
wow. I know, just ruining our joy. But I'm Crunk Chocolate. I am here with the show, bro. Sharpie Charlie. How's it going? How you feeling?
man, it's been a great last 15 hours from driving to Philly at 6:30 to leaving Philly at 12:30 a.m. and getting back to Virginia by 3 a.m. And then a nice little 7 a.m. run for 4 miles. We're here though. And it's a full, grateful for
My
life.
guy, let's go.
Yeah, we outside, but now we're inside for the rest of the day because it's cold. Footy and then football all day.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. It's definitely not great temperature wise outside, and I am 1,000% with you. I'm over it, but I know it's getting there. It's getting worse. It's only getting worse. But man. Okay, first off, let's start here. How are we feeling? Initial thoughts before we even look at the starting 11. We're fresh from a 3-0 win, but that is fresh from a no-win November. Where are you mentally at this moment?
I am definitely hopeful. I love the signs of progress from a 3-0 victory. And it's not that it was 3-0. It really is like the way we played, right? Like we dominated the match overall. And so I feel in good spirits about that. How about you?
Oh yeah, no, I am gassed up. I forget what we just saw because I don't know. We've always been talking. Hey, wait till the lineup comes. Wait till the lineup comes. Wait till everybody gets here, and then we get a semblance of what a healthy squad looks like. We handle business 3-0. Naturally, Ake goes down. Akanji comes off, and we don't see them. Well, now I can pull up the starting 11. They are missing in the starting 11. Jack Grealish has been benched. I mean, I do think I'm hoping. I don't want to say I think. I'm hoping that the Grealish is being benched for Juventus on Wednesday, but you never know. I know Ake went down. Like he was out. He did the I know he didn't move at all. He's really been struggling with health, and it's just unfortunate because we had what like 2.5 seasons really of him just peak super healthy, and we saw how key and pivotal he could be, and now we're kind of back in that in and out, which hurts because again when he comes in we see how great the squad is.
Yeah, but I will say, like, I mean, we can talk about Spot now, right? We're looking at it. I think Vardiol can do everything Ake does. It's just that in the moment decision making, right? Like he has all the ability of Ake. It's just learning. And that's where you forget, like, oh, he's 21. And Ake is a true senior player who's been playing top flight football for like 7, 8 years, right? Since he was at, Bournemouth or whatever. So it's you see the difference in that experience. But I think looking at his lineup, having Diaz in the middle as the linchpin, right? Like he is so critical to
Hmm.
the side. And when he is back there, I have all faith that things will get right. Like him, Ortega, like that's a solid two to kind of command the defense. And then how do you feel about this pairing of Gundo and Rico with no Jack back there?
Um, what I with their midfield of Lerma and Hughes and Sar, I'm not too worried about it. I'm Hughes isn't the most athletic. He's just a very smart footballer. He's a good footballer, though he never really gets himself in bad positions. Uh Sar has been kind of balling out this year, and he's been really good. He's going to be the person I'm going to be watching the most. Obviously, there's Eze, but he hasn't really hit the heights without Elise. Yeah. I there's our whole thing on them is their combination is small and lacks explosion. I don't want to say they lack athleticism because they're athletes, but they I'm just very scared of when we lose the ball. Is Crystal Palace going to move up the pitch? Are they going to be flying? Like, I don't know. And this is frustrating. I don't know. Like the heart of me says I'm terrified, but then also I don't want to show no weakness. So I'm like, they'll be fine.
See, it really is like a situation where as long as the back three stay back, I'm fine, right? Like I feel like 3v3, we're good. But if again, decision making, if Vardiol pushes up too far, if Kyle Walker gets too far advanced, then you get caught in your 2-on-1s or, 3-2s, and it's like, oh shoot, now they're on the counter. Now we gotta just hope for a missed shot or a great save by Ortega. So it's just I think the approach is going to be important. And now I'm like, when I look at Savinho starting on the left as opposed to Newts, it seems like Pep wants to set up that cutback, right? You get Savinho on the strong foot, same foot, same side. So like he can easily like get to the byline, cut back, or float crosses over for Holland and De Bruyne, or Gundo coming up to the box to get that shot off at the 18. So I feel like that's kind of where Pep's setup is. And obviously like Silva can work back more in defense. Like
Mm-hmm.
I definitely foresee a lot of attack on the left side. And then of course, like we have Newt's legs, like that's the athleticism on the pitch,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to be an 8 and kind of the same way Jack was, or like Jack wasn't just a 6. He did some 6 things, but he also like got back and forth too. So that part is going to be very, very interesting. I mean, because I'm not gonna lie, like I look at uh the back three for Crystal Palace and I see athletes like they are really really, really athletic. When you look at Chalobah, used to play at Chelsea, the crowd came over, and then obviously Mark Gahey, like that's a really good back three. Like it's amazing that Crystal Palace has started off so weak because they have talent. You can see it on the pitch.
Oh my gosh. I'm actually low key worried the more I kind of look at it. We know KDB is back. He's healthy. He's starting. That's amazing. But we do know he still has to kind of figure himself out and how he's playing. I'm just worried about if he makes not bad passes, but passes that normally he'd be able to make, but now he's a little off. And then it just sets us up for a counter. That's where I'll be very intrigued on Rico. And I mean, and Rico's not bad. It's just the fact that he's been playing more minutes than he ever has. And with his lack of heights
Yeah.
and maybe top speed, let's call it that, he almost has to play at 100% at like 3 times speed at all times in order to kind of not be most effective, but to make up for what he may lack. And when he's playing all of those matches, we saw him starting to struggle. He's had some time off. I would like to believe that we are going to see the best Rico Lewis that we have gotten used to seeing, actually.
You see the flip on five mob. So they have changed it to where Noose is on the left, Savinho's on the right, Bernardo and De Bruyne as the 8s, which I
Interesting.
like. I mean, I mean, you put like yeah, okay, I get it. Like that was I was confused why Noose was in the why Savinho was on the left because I'm like, okay, maybe Pep's doing something different.
Yeah,
But
right.
if this is how it is, I will say this: I would like to see Rico where Bernardo is because I think he does more in the pockets.
Mm-hmm.
But we saw Silva get a goal last match, right? So I'm not going to question Pep. The fact that Bernardo's been so healthy is great. He is like the one. Him and Holland have been the only 2 attackers. Him, Holland, and Newts that have not missed time, right? Like they've been readily available just about every single match. Um, and I hope that seeing Grealish on the bench, seeing Doc on the bench, it's a situation where they can come on like to secure a 2-0 lead or secure the 1-0 versus like trying to get a goal or trying to get 2 goals, right? Because this match is on the road. We're down in London, South London, so it's definitely gonna be a buzzing atmosphere, as they say. Crystal Palace is where they're in the table. They're out of relegation now, right? Because they just had a
They're
win.
just outside. just outside. I think they're 17th. Yeah, they're 17th.
Yeah, it's like a 3-point gap between them and Ipswich,
Mhm.
and they got a solid goal differential. So, I mean, they're I think they're safe now. Like, I don't see Ipswich, and we know Southampton's going down. So between Ipswich, Wolves, Palace, I definitely rate Palace the best out of those three.
Oh
I'm
yeah, I don't
sorry,
think
Southampton. They got 5 and 14. It's not my
yeah,
fault.
even
Uh,
a couple like Everton, they look better than Everton. Honestly, like they're I think they're fine.
yeah. But that Everton 4-0 win against Wolves was crazy. Just where the fuck? Where did that come from?
Right?
Crazy scoreline. Shock, awe, and applause. But I'm excited for this. Like I really think that we have the potential to, with Kevin De Bruyne, if he has similar form, like another 60, 65 minutes of brilliance, and then you could take him off, put Grealish on, Nunes does his thing, or maybe you put on Daku and like for Silva and let Nunes slide in the middle. I like the way we're set up. I will ask you this question. Do you think Rico Lewis has the ability to become more like a David Silva? Because I only ask this because of his play style, his physique. But the thing that Silva had is that he always played with giants, right? He was beside Fernandinho, he was beside Yaya Toure, like he was beside KDB. So you were able to be small because you had big people beside you. Lewis looks smaller because there is no Rodri right there. Like when he's beside Rodri, he's like, oh, this is great.
That's a great point. Wow. Hold on before I get to that because that
Yeah, go
actually
ahead.
blew my brain. What's up, George? Appreciate you. Hello, Jenna.
Buen dia.
And then
Jen, what up,
I'll
Jen?
get to your question in a second after we get done talking about Rico. I mean, he has. The only thing I worry about is, well, obviously it'll be a David. Whenever you say the word David Silva now, you get in trouble. It's just like, yes, I mean, because he's a diminutive guy. He's great in the small spaces. Obviously, I don't I don't see a magician in him, but that's like lofty praise. But like it's actually a really great shout because he really is kind of amazing in those small spaces. He's gotten a lot better at somehow staying up despite being smaller than everybody. I mean, he has better hair than David Silva. I'll give him that.
Incredible hair. But I mean, it's like, of course, nobody's gonna be like. I thought
Yes.
about Luca's conversation
Yeah.
on the lit stream. I'm just like, the the characteristics fit. And Jennifer just says, Rico's future excites. So that excites me too because he's still so young. It's
Mhm.
almost like, remember when Foden first broke through and he was still kind of figuring it out and getting consistent run. And then the more you play, you get your legs. And then I think like that when that rotation really kicks in, to where Rico can play not every 3 days, but he can go, a Saturday and then another Saturday while there's the midweek Champions League or whatever. Like I think we see like second half of the season he gets even better. I'm excited. But Nathan had a question, right?
Yes. Oh, hold on. I'm off the screen for a second. I was trying to look something up. What is happening? What Nathan asked, what do you think of Grealish getting moved to central midfield? Two things. Joe Bray just messaged that uh, Pep suggests you chatted with him right before the match. He said, Jack yesterday had some struggles. Jeremy came back after 3 or 4 weeks with a muscular injury. 3 days, it was too much risk. Fresh legs, energy, and let's go.
Makes perfect sense. I love that. And that was my first thought when I was like, oh, Jack can't play because he's just coming back. And that's actually a way more demanding position than playing on the wing, right? Like you're doing
Yes.
so much work. It's super dynamic.
No, he
So
gets ass kicked. Like honestly.
yeah. And like we're doing two things at once here. This is a Champions League week coming up. Big match going to Italy. So it's like if you had to pick one, we got to figure out Crystal Palace because we know we need the 3 points in Champions League. Like we want the 3 points Premier League. There are far more matches left. You could get a draw today and not be out of top four, whatever.
Facts.
But you lose on Wednesday, or you don't have, your healthiest available squad, and now you're really hurt as far as like trying to get out of the playoff in the new format. So we're always managing multiple competitions. Like we just saw the date come out for luckily an easy FA draw for the first time in a while. Starts with Salford, no offense. But it's just not Spurs or whatever. So much stress. But yeah, so I think like, Pep's always in between things. Can we didn't talk about the bench though, other than Doku, because I saw some young names and I was like, was that Josh Wilson Esperin? Is that we got the kids on the bench. They won't
And
play
honestly, I didn't even look at it either. If we got a JWE sighting,
because no Ake. So you got to bring up a defender.
uh,
Of course,
that's
Nate.
a good shout. Well, we've been worried about him, and kind of asking, "Hey, yo, where, where is he? Is he okay?"
Yep.
So, all right,
Still around. You've been training.
so
You know.
Ederson, Carson, Simpson, Pusey, yep, JWE, Jacob Wright, McAtee, Nico O'Reilly, Jack Grealish, and Jeremy Doku. So yeah, a bunch of kids.
I mean, our defenders have an average age of what, 19 and a half or like 20, like
Honestly, yeah, yeah,
it's the children. Um, yeah, and this makes me think of something that like we always had the luxury of the last 2 seasons, which is, oh, if something happens to Erling Haaland, there's Julian Alvarez. There's no Julian Alvarez on this bench. So actually, I think City needs to get a second striker in the transfer market. The more I think about things, we have a lot of midfielders, we have defenders we can rotate in and out. We really need a striker to support Holland and more
honestly,
like and break glass in case of emergency, right? Get somebody that's younger, has potentials, plays some senior ball, but like is a true number 9. Because without it, then we got to like, oh, let's change the whole system. Let's go false nine. And I don't want Holland to get hurt, but it's like at this rate with City, eventually he probably will. Like I have no faith in anybody staying healthy because it's just the way of the world.
man, all his
Um,
playing is not great at
he's
all.
playing so much. This is the most football I think he's played since his first season. Because even last year he had that spell out, right? It's like that, but that first year, it was like he was basically on every single match. I think he played like 33, 34 Premier League matches. And he's kind of on that same pace now. But let's look at Crystal Palace real quick.
Yes,
We know. What do you feel about Mateta? Because I think when he's on his day, he's one of the best nines in the Premier League. Like we saw him go crazy last year, right? And that led into the Olympics. When he played in his home country of France. So like, what do you think he is able to score today, or do you think we're able to keep him off the score sheet?
I I do worry that he could potentially score. And Mateta thrives in the chaos just because of his size. Like, dude does not like just initial looks at him. He doesn't look like a footballer, like because he's just a big, wide dude, and even the way that he like moves seems a little unorthodox. But he'll ball out on you. He'll score a banger on you easily, and I do worry that if Diaz is like away in another spot, Vardial's too far up. Like, man, just looking at that back line of technically it's Walker, Diaz, and Vardial, that scares the hell out of me. And it's just from like set pieces where they might be able to take advantage of the physicality, the height. We're back to being a short team without like Grealish on. Honestly, that's
I mean,
really it.
honestly, on a set piece, like Erling Haaland is like a center back, right? Like he has to go back there and be beside Diaz to
Yeah,
give us a fourth. And Nunes is pretty tall too, right?
Bunny
So,
Shaw
but like,
does the
but
same
still,
thing.
like, yeah. But when you think about what they have on the other side, like Lerma's pretty tall, Mateta's tall, Gahey, Lacroix, Chalobah, but like, and Munoz, like on the wing, like they got some athletes. And but here's the thing: we know we're going to dominate possession. I don't think Oliver Glasner is gonna press too aggressively
Mm.
because then you don't want to give up the easy goal. You want to make us work for it. So I definitely don't see like a super deep block. I think more of a mid block to kind of like just poke and prod a little, maybe force us to a mistake. Um, because honestly, like I think Gundo's the mark now.
Yes,
Like Tom likes to talk about it, and like you saw the way he got taken off the ball,
love them, but
and it's
yes.
it's like, wait, man, like whoa, 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 just keep the ball, bro. Like what's going on? We're not asking you to run fast, just keep it. But like when Jack was on the ball, it's like, oh, this is what it could look like.
Uh-huh.
It's
So,
like it's like going from like old like
this,
HD TV to like 4K. And it's like, oh, this is that's how green the grass is. I didn't know. It looks so different now. So it's like I hope Gundo gives us a beautiful 60 minutes and maybe Jack can like shut it down at the end um if needed. But I Silva's gonna do some work. Silva's gonna be definitely back. I could definitely see it shifting backwards to at some points even like maybe we need a back four where Walker slides into that center back role, Rico drops back into a right back, Bernardo comes. So it can morph into like a 4-2-3-1
Mm.
versus the 3-2-4-1. It's kind of flexible depending on like how the match goes and game state and if Crystal Palace is on the attack, right? Like we got to defend. Um, and I think now like we got through our roughest patch. My next question for you, sir: will Savinho do something, and not just like play well, but like, do you see a goal or assist for him? Because it's been a while.
It has been a while, and people have been very loving and doting over Savinho, whereas I feel like people still are shitting on Doku's final product, which, we won't get into that. But Savinho's rightfully so. He's been injured. He's been playing a lot of football more than what has been expected of him. He has been off it. Like, understandably, he's been off it, like you said. But yeah, I need to see something from him. I absolutely need to see something from him, or else. And it's actually not even an or else. Like, he'll always have that spot, but with Oscar Bob getting back to health around the corner, like he's now doing light training. He's not like in the trenches with the guys yet, but he's getting there, and he's
The
going.
schedule, he's still on schedule, right? It's like late January,
Mhm.
6 weeks away. I will say this: the true rotation of wingers was always our strength. We always had two on the left, two on the right.
Mm,
And so once you do get Bob back in, let's say by February, just to be safe, right? Once you do have able to say, hey, Savino, you go this match, Bob, you go this match. On the left, Daku, you go this match, Jack, you go this match, right? Like Onus and Daku, whatever. Like you're able to now get guys at their best versus, having to play 3 matches in 10 days or whatever, like from those positions where you are doing a lot of work. So I think the best is yet to come. Yeah, the Bob news definitely makes me happy too, Jen. Like I love the prospect of seeing him back on the pitch. Can't wait for that New Jersey number next year. We were teased this summer and it didn't happen. But I need him to get out of that 52 or whatever. It's ugly.
mm.
It's very ugly.
Yes, Bob News makes me very happy. Also, oh man, I'm starting to see people are. I brought up the whole fact about Bruno G during the lid stream. Or was that the chat with
Mhm.
Dylan Meehan? Maybe it's the chat with Dylan Meehan. But just I was seeing rumblings that Newcastle might be willing to get rid of Bruno G, and I'm starting to see more and more people talking about it. I saw one post a buddy message Sam Lee. I was like, oh my goodness. Like he's even gonna tell you in a DM that he's gonna leave that for his podcast and get people to, get people on there subscribing. But I am very intrigued because the number that they were even saying was 80, 85 as well. And you throw that immediately at Newcastle and Bruno G.
Money's no object, bro. Like we try to be very prudent and we have a lot of, eyes on us. And we did make the big splash for like Grealish and Vardy, right? Vardy was a bag to Leipzig,
Mm-hmm.
but we can do it anytime we want. Like it's not like we're just like, oh my god, are we gonna make it? Will we be PSR violators? No, the books are great. Like, just do it, please. Like the window opens up 7 p.m. Eastern time on January 1st. I want a signing by January 15th. Like I would love to get somebody in there who's in game shape. Maybe it's not Bruno, maybe it's not Zubamendi, whoever. Pick your midfielder to
Yeah.
solidify the midfield and then like do a late splash, a nice little cheeky sayonara, find this wonderful young striker from somewhere that we didn't see coming. Shit, I would even take a player. I know this is gonna sound crazy, very homerish. Think about a Ricardo Pepi, right? He's actually been balling out. If you caught the Champions League highlights, what him and Malik Tillman did for PSV, like he's a true striker, and that type of profile, right? City would be like a huge step up, but you're not trying to be a starter right away. You're just happy to be there. You playing stock minutes. Maybe you're 15, 20 mil. Everybody eats. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Give me an American Rufo. I'm not mad.
No, I would love that. I would love that. I mean, and they need to try again after losing Zach Steffen. They realized how much following that, even having Zach on the bench, it made a big difference. Yes, that we can talk about some Bruno. Oh, birthday's coming up. Okay, let's go. Hey.
And her birthday is y'all special people. God bless you.
All right. Well, let's get out of here with our parting thoughts and score predictions.
I'll keep it simple. City dominate yet again, man. We go on the road. I think we win 2-0. A
Come on.
tidy 2-0. Tidy 2-0. I'm confident again.
Yeah, I like the 2-0. Shout out to Eagle Eye podcast, Eagle Eye Ball podcast. They came on for their Breaking Bread match preview, and he too believes City should win. He also was protective of Adam Wharton, but also kind of expected potentially we could have it going after him as well. So that would be amazing. And
He has a groin injury. I was like, where is he?
yeah,
That makes sense.
and and he's still hurt for another couple of weeks. And that's also another interesting thing that he mentioned about the club. A lot of the players are playing outside of their comfortable positions, like Daichi Kamada. He's technically like a midfielder, but that really is like Eze's spot. And he's never going to get that from Eze. So he's been pushed out wide, which is not his game. Nketiah has been struggling. And then Decore is just coming back from health. So we might be able to see him for like 20, 25 minutes today. And that might worry me just because he's going to come on and just bully everybody. But yeah, we're going to give up a goal. I like Jen's 3-1. Scoring 3 goals against Crystal Palace. That sounds intense. A lot of amazing things have to happen, but I would love for that to happen. Exactly. What's a clean sheet? So 2-0 Sharpie clean sheet. 2-0 believe we can win, but possibility of it being 3-1 is very possible. And man of the match, I think it's technically going to have to be a defender unless we plan on winning by 3 goals.
This man didn't score last match, so give me Erling Haaland. Big Earl.
Yeah, and what his last goal for us was a penalty. Like man needs to score. Yeah, he needs to score.
He's hungry.
Goal. Yeah, he needs it.
It's time.
All right. Well, we will be back. We're recording with Eric Wall later today. Then we have a new episode Sunday night. We got plenty coming for you. You know the vibes. Shady gang.
3 points. Let's go.